Prism. So just want to give you one heads up regarding this video that I have divided this video in four sections. In the very first, we will try to understand what is Prism. Then we will look why to use the Prism, and then we will see how we can implement it. And in the final, we will have a simple demo for it. So now let's start with the Prism. So Prism, what is Prism? So Prism is a tool, or you can say a set of packages for mocking the API. So with the help of the Prism tool, you can create your own mock server. And what it takes as an input, so you can start your mock server. So it takes your openAPI file. OpenAPI file is basically we use in our development as a documentation to show or to represent what our application API will look like. So it is a documentation where we specify all what are the controllers, what are the endpoints, what are the request body, what are the response body. So everything in just one file that gives you everything regarding the API. It is called your OpenAPI file. So, formerly it was also known as the Swagger file, but now it is known as OpenAPI file. So it takes this file as an input, and as an output it creates your mock server on the basis of your OpenAPI file. So that is it. So now we will understand why to use the Prism. So like during the development, we have the other teams. For example, you are developing one API and you have the other teams which are dependent on your work. Maybe some front end team, maybe some automation team that requires your APIs to get proceed. So just to unblock them or just to facilitate what your API will look like, we can have this Prism. So it will give you a feel of having the API before actually developing the API. So even you have not started the code or you have not, your development is in progress state, but they can be unblocked. And with the help of this mock server, they can utilize or they can have the actual look and feel of the API. So these API will have all your endpoints that are supposed to be in your application, and it will give you the response as per the request. So that is why we will use the Prism. So yeah, it is very easy to start the mock server. I will show you in our upcoming uh, section where we will run the mock server by using just a single command. So it is very easy to run and maintain. Now let's see how to use the Prism. So there is one requirement to run the Prism on the system is just npm. And please make sure that your npm version should be greater than 16, otherwise it will give you some exceptions and some errors. And in my case, it was even not running. So please make sure before doing anything that your npm version should be greater than 16. And this is a command, installation command, with the help of which you can install the Prism tool. That's it. And this is just a simple run command with the help of which you can start your Prism Mock server. So these are the small commands which I will paste these commands in the descriptions, so that will be easy for you to copy paste it. One thing I just want to add here, npm is a requirement for this. So I believe either you have the npm in your system or there are some available videos if you don't know how to install it, so you can go through them. And there are also the documents, so it will be easy for you. Now let's start with the demo part. What is the node version we have on our machine installed? I remember in the PPT I do mention it's npm, but it should be node. So the node version should be greater than 16. So on my machine it was on 16.717.0, so which is perfect for the npm to run on the system. So this is a file, openAPI file. Basically it is our famous file, the pad store file. So this is the spec file looks like. You can get it from the internet. This is just a very famous example for the YAML file, for the openAPI file basically. So now I'll show you what is the command that we can use it. So let me grab it from there. What was the command? So I have already installed. So npm. Now we can run it here. Prism Mock. That you can. That's it. Just this with the help of this command, in just few seconds, your server is up. So yeah, now your server is up. So these are actually the APIs that are mentioned in your open spec file, and now they can easily serve you the request and the response. For example, let me take this one. So I have copied this, go to the postman, and I just execute it. Boom. It is giving me the response like a real service. So it can have the facilities like if I give it any ID, it will give me the response. So that's how the simple it is. So